this football on this line right here, 3 yards away. 1, 2, 3 from the goal line. How many feet in a yard?
3.
So 9 feet away. Rest of this football on Thanksgiving in College Station. Okay, 9 feet away. Texas A&M Stadium was going crazy, going wild, because they had just scored to take the lead in the 4th quarter in the last time that Texas would ever play Texas A&M. And that was the football sitting there. That's right where we're sitting. Look how close that is to that line. Is that very far? That's super close. And we had 11 guys on defense. That felt horrible. Why? Because we let a touchdown in. Not just, and we don't like letting any touchdown in. For sure against A&M, and for sure in the last few minutes of the game. So we had some guys that were really down and really depressed. And the score was 25-24. Okay? The place was going crazy. Maybe one of the loudest stadiums I've ever heard in my life at that moment. I mean, people were just going crazy because they thought they had won. But the clock on the scoreboard said otherwise. The clock said we still had a little bit of time left to play. And the ball was still sitting here 3 yards, 9 feet away from our end zone. Well, Texas A&M, they decided to go for 2 points. Okay? And those 11 defenders who had let them score, made a mistake to let them score, they had to suck it up. And they had to find a way to not let it happen. Okay? They line up, they try and throw a little rollout pass, quarterback gets under pressure, goes to throw it, one of our guys bats it away in the end zone. But how do you think our defensive players still feel at that time? They still feel down. They still feel terrible. Because they feel like they had let their team down by letting them score. And really, the fact that we batted down that 2-point conversion, nobody really thought that that was a big play. The stadium was still going crazy for Texas A&M even when we batted down that pass. But then a funny thing happened. I told you there was still some time left on the scoreboard, right? They kicked it off. And all of our players that play on special teams did a great job blocking their guy. And our kickoff returner almost broke it for a touchdown. But he didn't, but almost. But we got the ball in pretty good field position. Okay? And our offense took the field. Okay? Our offense took the field, and if it was loud when they scored, it was as loud as that stadium has ever been in the history of that stadium at that moment. I mean, everyone in that place was screaming on the top of their lungs so that our offense would have a hard time moving the ball. Okay? But we get a first down, they try to cover us all up, and our quarterback takes the ball and runs 30 yards right down the middle of their field to get the ball in field goal position. Okay? We run the clock down, and then we send out our special teams unit out on the field. And Justin Tucker lines up, okay, for our field goal. But now they're going to try and block it. This is the football game. So everyone knows about Justin Tucker's going to make the kick, but there's 9 guys lined up that they got to block harder than they've ever blocked in their entire life to make sure that they don't get a hand on that field goal. And there's one guy that's got to snap it. And if his snap's not perfect, then Justin never has a chance to make the kick. And then we also got a holder. And he's got to hold that football, catch it, and put that thing down, and make sure the laces are pointed the right way, just to give Justin a chance to make that kick. And you know what happened? But before that, the snapper snapped it, the 9 guys blocked, the holder caught it, he put the ball down, and he made the kick. And because the kick went in, what did the score become? 27-25. It'll be on t-shirts for history. But why did they have 25? Because what would the score have been if they made the 2-point conversion? And the game would have gone to what? And we may still be there playing. Okay? But my point to you is this. Those defensive players that were down at that moment because they felt like they had let their team down, they had as much to do as winning the football game as Justin Tucker. And the reason why football is the greatest game to play And while we're all happy that you're here and hope you play football for a long time, it is the ultimate team game. Because defense stopped the two-point conversion, special teams got the ball in good field position, offense got the ball down the field, and then who won the game? No, but what unit was out on the field? Defense, offense? Special teams. Special teams. And I don't know if the guy that had, one of those 9 guys that had to block, I don't know before the game if he knew that he'd be the most important player on the field. But was he? What if he doesn't make his block? The kick would have been blocked. So it wasn't Justin Tucker, it was the guy that had to protect for him. And that's why football is a great game, because everybody has something to do. Everybody has something to do. And I want to leave this message to you right now, okay? People can call you a lot of things in your life, okay? Some good and some bad. But what you want to be called is tough. And tough doesn't mean that, you know, someone can punch you in the face and you just laugh. That's not what I'm talking about tough. What I'm talking about when I say tough is mentally tough. Because fellas, you're going to have times, I watch you when you're playing your little games you're about to play, and the other team scores, and things look down, and there's 2 types of people. There are people who get down and depressed and stop playing well, and there's people that say, you know what, let's just go harder at it. Let's just come back and let's just play harder. And when the Texas defense gave up the touchdown that could have lost them the game, they had to find a way to be tough. Was it physically tough? It was mentally tough. And let me tell you something, you can be 2 feet tall or 10 feet tall and be mentally tough. You don't have to be big. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be fast. You make a decision that you are a mentally tough person, so that when things don't go right, if your friend has something maybe better than you, whatever, that you learn to not complain. You learn not to complain. That's hard at your age. Okay? It's hard at any age. All right? But you want to be looked at as being mentally tough, because mental toughness won that football game. Because ultimately, when it came down at the end between Texas and Texas A&M, somebody blinked. And the team that made the plays to win the game at the end was? I'm sorry, say that in my good ear. No, wait, I didn't quite hear you. It was? That's what I thought too. I just want to make sure. It still feels good to hear that. Who won the game? Excellent. So you've done a great job this week. You guys have worked hard. What I want you to leave here, be a mentally more tough person. When something doesn't go right, when your parents, when you want to go to McDonald's, they don't take you there, or something that you want that they don't give you, instead of complaining and getting in the tank about it, find a way to be 1 inch tougher than you were when you came here this morning. Can we do that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have to eat any pills to do that, or take any special anything?
Sir.
You have it. You can do it right now. You can do it right now. And that's how, when the ball right there is 9 feet away, that's how you get it stopped. All right? You guys have been great this week. Thank you for your attention, and hook 'em.